Hey, what's up, filmmakers? This video is all about how to find funding for your independent films in 2026. My studio's a little messy because we literally shot a short film on Sunday and we've been doing all the posts and we're delivering it today, which is Friday, a few minutes from when I'm actually posting this video. But this is the second part in a two-part series I've been working on where we answer some critical questions. In the last video, we talked about where you go to find funding. In this video, we're talking about finding an audience and how to craft a winning pitch. And with this video, I'm including a bunch of tools that I have been working on that I'm using for my next project. With that, let's move on to the next question in this series. How can you get money for a film if you don't already have a built-in audience? So this might sound a little complicated, but it's actually really simple to do. Genre power versus star power. So the diamond industry, De Beers or whoever, they own all of the diamond mines around the world, and they limit how many diamonds can actually go out to people. And that's how they can charge a lot of money for diamonds. Hollywood does the exact same thing with talent. They want to limit our access to celebrities so that they can control the dollar amount and the worth of those celebrities' time. And it works really well. But that is what we call star power. So I want you to think for a second why you go and watch the movies you do. Why did you go see Project Hail Mary? Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling, you've seen movies with him in them, and so you know the quality of his performance. You know the quality of the projects that he does, so you can trust that. That's called star power. The association is that I'm familiar with this already. I know this person, I know their quality, I know I have a good experience. I will spend money and I will expect that same return. So as independent filmmakers, we have to understand what audiences are familiar with. We're not gonna go and get an A-list celebrity to be in our short film, let alone our feature film, and believe me, I tried. I tried so hard to get someone to hop onto my first feature film, but I had no proof that my film wasn't going to be a steaming pile of garbage. And actually my film was freaking amazing, and now I have the proof that says I can actually make a good film. But before you've done it, people can't just guess or believe that you're going to make a good film. So rather than focus on getting stars, getting famous people in your film, it's our job as independent filmmakers to focus on the other power, genre power. Now there are a number of genres out there, and any genre really can be profitable, I believe. The ones I've focused on are the sci-fi, action, horror, thriller space personally, because those are the kind of the movies that I really enjoy consuming. But there's other genres that I have friends who are very successful in, whether it's romance, whether it's holiday films, there's family-friendly content. Genres can be just as powerful and more powerful for us as indie filmmakers than star power. There are audiences out there that are already familiar with this category, and so they're willing to take a chance even on a movie with no real big names in it, if that movie has a unique take on their genre. Now here's the twist. Even though you don't have access to traditional Hollywood star power necessarily, unless you happen to be best friends with somebody, and in this case, yeah, that's probably how you should fund your film. But for the 99.999% of us who are living in reality, instead of getting a Hollywood star, you can also find people who have an incredibly diehard online following. And if they have talent and they can be in your film, that is a fantastic way to both leverage the star power that comes from a social media online celebrity and tie them with the correct genre. So if I was going about raising money for my film, I would try to find, and this is what I'm doing now, the people online who are really talented, who do a great job acting in your film, who have a solid online following. Specifically, that online following needs to be people who would want to pay for a romance movie or a sci-fi movie or a Western or whatever it is that you really want to make. So that's one, where can you go and get money? And two, how do you get money if you yourself don't even have an audience? And I just want to say that at the time I did my crowdfunding campaign, I had like 700 people following me on Instagram and pretty much nobody on YouTube. So if you're worried that I just don't know how to reach people, there are actually really great ways and simple strategies that you can employ to reach people directly by sharing the project that you're working on. And that's what we're going to talk about next in number 3, which is how do you craft a winning pitch for your next project? All right, so let's talk about the thing. How do you actually pitch a film? This is something that I didn't fully understand for years. And now I have a more solid understanding, and just like any other craft, writing a script or learning how to become a cinematographer, learning how to craft a pitch is its own skill set. But for this video, I'm gonna talk about this very, very simply. There are really two sides of creating a powerful pitch and a winning pitch. Number one is selling your story, and number two is selling your movie. Now, when it comes to the story, this is the thing that I intuitively found to be much more easy to do. I could talk about the characters, I could talk about the world, the tone, and the themes that I'm exploring with this film. And all of that is extremely important to captivate your audience, to get them emotionally invested in this project as a piece of art. But the other side of this, selling it as a movie, means you have to expand and sell your film as a product, and what indie filmmakers need to leverage now, an experience.
Yeah. Get you in there, buddy.
Copy. That's 4 in the morning. Okay, so short story is 10 to 20 years ago, people could go into bargain bins in Walmart and pay $5 for an independent film. That's when you actually had DVDs, and all of that was a great way to recoup costs on the investment of an indie film. That market has completely been decimated by streaming, and without getting too deep in the weeds into that, yes, 10 to 20 years ago, someone might have paid $10 to $20 to go watch a film. But today, they're willing to pay $100 or even $200 or $1,000 or more to be part of a film.
Hi, neighbor. Welcome to this house. Let's see who's inside.
This is the huge distinction in people's buying habits now that we get to take advantage of as indie filmmakers.
Yes, now we're actually making a monster movie. Up until now, it's just been smoke and mirrors. Now we actually have a creature in a bag.
So yes, you sell the story. You explain why this film is going to be super cool. That's your thing, you can do. Now you have to learn how to present your film as a product and an experience. But what we need to do is use social media and the internet as filmmakers to go out and say, I'm gonna bring you along every step of the process as I make my film. You get to, for a couple $100 or $100 or $50 or $20, you can actually weigh in on the creative decisions. Now, as a filmmaker, you might say, well, why would anyone do that? Well, that's the thing you need to change about your mindset. Yes, as a filmmaker, you wanna go out and make the film. But there are thousands upon thousands of people who aren't going to go out and make a film. But those people are absolutely willing to pay so that they can participate in that process, because making films is so cool. And it's such a fun collaborative experience.
Und cut! All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Great, we got it.
And so you can sell that experience in a way that, frankly, Hollywood movies don't do. As independent filmmakers, we get to build a tight-knit community around our art project, and those people will contribute to that, if not creatively, at least financially. So yes, you sell the story, you sell the product, you sell the experience. Now the real key in crafting a winning pitch is also demonstrating your capacity as a filmmaker. You gotta show that you can actually do a good job. The closer you can get to showing you're gonna deliver on the exact promise of your film, the better. So if you can show films that you've made before, awesome. If you can't do that, just go smaller. Here's a 30-second trailer that I put together with my own money to basically demonstrate what this 10-minute short film is going to be like. So as you're crafting your pitch, you need to be able to show that, show your capacity to actually go out and deliver on what you're promising. And then I learned this incredible skill on how to close someone when you're looking for investment in your film. So whether this is through a Kickstarter campaign or whether this is something you're selling directly to a private equity investor, you're not going to make an ask, you're going to make an offer. So rather than, how much money does this person have that I can take, think about all of the things that you have that you can offer them. Literally, you can say to someone, for just $100, you get to come along for the ride and be a part of this film. You get to walk the red carpet with us as we premiere. You get to travel the world with us as we do our festival. If not in person, at least digitally while we live stream this really cool experience. You get exclusive access. All of those things aren't an ask, they are an offering. And when you have all of those offerings for people, all they have to ask is that worth X amount of dollars to me? And that really is how you craft a winning pitch, making something that people want to purchase. If you like this video, make sure to follow, subscribe, and join us on Patreon, where we'll talk about all kinds of cool things that go just beyond the funding process, but how do you tell captivating stories? How do you make amazing movies? And I wanna invite you to take the full indie film funding course. I couldn't be more excited to share this with other filmmakers out there, because you shouldn't have to, like me, spend 5 years trying to figure this out on your own. Go invest in yourself and get the investment you need and deserve for your next film. If you have any questions, leave a comment and we'll see you in the next video.